This is the Opie and Anthony podcast.
Let's do this.
My nipples are kind of hard right now.
This week, legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin, comedian Tom Papa, and Jim Norton as Grocery Man.
The Opie and Anthony show is live 5 days a week. They even have their own channel.
It's barely a show, and here it is, a channel. Golly.
Go to SiriusXM.com to find out more and for a free trial.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Buzz Aldrin, welcome back to the Opie and Anthony
Buzz.
show.
Any relation to the
Uh-oh.
Opie on TV?
Oh.
Well,
Ron Howard.
no,
Right,
I'm no relationship.
No.
You know, we got to...
But I was named after him, sir. Because I looked like him when he was a little boy.
We're on, too, just so you know.
Oh, there we go.
And we had Ron Howard.
Pull
in
up a
here,
chair, sir.
And we discussed that, and it was a terrific day.
Yes, Ron Howard is the TV Opie.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
No, this isn't the actor. This is the manager of the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh, so that's a different guy.
Oh, really?
I was going to a debate at the Reagan Library.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend tried to buy a tie downstairs, $60. She said, "I'm not gonna pay $60 for a tie." So Ron says, "Here, take mine." And then I'm walking down the hallway, and I remember I don't have a belt. He took his belt off.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that's what
It's
you
good
get.
to be Buzz Aldrin, isn't it?
You're an American hero, national hero.
I need a tie. Guy just hands you his tie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you got a lot of crystals on or something.
He wanted it back.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
What's all the crystals about? The bracelets. There's something going on there.
Oh.
Evil spirits.
Yeah.
Opies and so forth.
Gotta keep those away. Buzz, pleasure to have you here, obviously.
Yes.
And you have Mission to Mars, My Vision for Space Exploration.
Missions.
Missions.
We tried to put an S on it, and they, no, can't do
Oh, so they just went mission. But you're talking multiple missions.
This is ongoing.
Right.
Sustaining. They don't come back.
Oh,
Permanent.
really? Okay, all right.
Why don't they come back? Is it just the distance is too far, or how
A
come
lot of reasons. We want to build up as rapidly as we can a sustaining number, and if you want 60 people there, it takes 20 years to. Nobody's going to build a 100-person spacecraft,
Right.
so you just get them there every 26 months.
Ferry them over there.
That's when Earth goes around twice and a little bit more. Mars goes around once, so Earth.
A little closer, right. The timing has to be impeccable with the launch,
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you build the habits?
Omega watches.
Yeah, the Omega Watch. I remember those commercials. They were, hey, we're the watch of the astronauts.
Do you build the habitat? How do you build the habitat first? Is there a lunar something that builds it first before they arrive, or how do they build where they're going to live?
Well, you need a short transmission time. Not even from the Earth to the Moon. That's a second and a half. 3 seconds round trip to see whether it did what you told it to do. So we practice on the big island of Hawaii when somebody designs what the International Lunar Base should be about. So we practice and rehearse and so work out the kinks. Then we do it on the moon for the other international countries. We do it from a controlled base on the far side of the moon. It's a neutral gravity point, 50,000 miles away. So we put a control center there to do the robotics science and for the caterpillar digging the crystals from the dark parts, the craters. But its big job is to learn how to land, to put these things together. And these are not small, they're big. And they got to travel over somewhat uncertain terrain.
Right.
Then dock with each other, hook up the electrical leads. Nobody knows how to really do that.
Right.
So that's why we got to practice to do it at the moon for the internationals and tourist type people.
Wow, yeah.
And then we do it from the moon of Mars onto the surface of Mars.
And what about one thing they say with astronauts that traveling 3 years in space or whatever it is illness, cancer, broken bones, like these little. Are they gonna? Do they have a technology yet where they can kind of monitor you on a microscopic level? Is that what they're working on to kind of catch these things before they get started in astronauts?
Well, it's called an EKG. If you go to an auction, you can get Neils and
Yes.
buying EKGs at an auction during landing on the moon.
Yeah, they're actually selling your EKGs from when you were touching down on the moon. Interesting.
I thought at first it was just normal. Nothing was different.
Yeah, but were you too little wound up?
But it's taken, several years to put together this plan that really tightens things up with the whole space program. We look at space policy as it evolved since rockets first came out. Sputnik, Yuri Gagarin, and our reaction to that with Mercury catching up during the Gemini program and Apollo. Then we start running into things where things didn't quite go right. We made some bad mistakes that took away what we would love to have today.
Yeah.
And then Bush said the same as the accident board, retire the orbiter at the end of 2010. That's 7 years to come up with a substitute. It still isn't there.
Right.
And
That's a shame. It's I really it hurts to watch and see what's happening to the
shuttle
space
wasn't
program.
the original design at all.
It wasn't?
No, two-stage, fully reusable, wings and wheels on the orbiter, wings and wheels on the booster. That's what we'd love to have now.
Oh.
But there are reasons why that didn't happen, and generally, like so many things, it's short-term objectives in politics. So this foundation is going to look at space policy, exploration, science, development, commercial, and security. Now, I'd put security first, but I'd be a warmonger if I did that. But it's also planetary defense from asteroids impacting. And what is really needed now is a test bed at the station for long-term life support. Okay, NASA needs that in a bad way. The space station needs something to do. And this Inspiration Mars mission with the married couple leaving in January of 2018 for 500 days flyby of Mars, that's a great stimulation. There's some other political stimulations that need to be cultivated by people like you even before the end of Obama's term.
Yeah.
Because if he helps who he thinks is going to win, then who he thinks is going to win has a marvelous opportunity as approaching the 50th anniversary of the first through the last, centered around the re-election of 2020. Okay? So either Obama's successor makes a meaningful commitment within 2 decades for permanence on Mars, or if he doesn't, she doesn't, why the guy running against him or her says, well, no problem, because Obama didn't pay any attention to the 50th anniversary of Kennedy's speech sending us to the moon. Why should anybody in that administration care about 50th anniversaries and commitments to the future? Can you imagine what Earth history is going to be like 200-300 years from now when it records a leader on Earth of an organization that made a commitment and saw it follow through for human beings from the Earth to make a 2-planet system for human beings by beginning permanence on another planet?
Be amazing.
Now, that is going to go down in history. I had a religious guy standing next to me as I was explaining it, and that guy's going to be in history greater than Alexander the Great, Columbus, Genghis Khan, Moses, Abraham, and Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Oh, he
didn't like that. I
No,
bet.
he probably liked a
Wasn't
lot of
too
them,
sure
but
about
not
that.
that last one.
But he didn't like
Can
that.
I ask you too? If they say that I've always heard that they were going to colonize the one, what's it? Io, is that Jupiter moon? They said was a good candidate for it too.
That's got volcanoes all the time.
Oh, so is that not a good
No,
candidate?
that's not a good place.
But are there any of the Jupiter moons that are, or no? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one.
Yeah, I kind of lose track of the names, but there's one one that has ice. Then you can see the cracks in the ice.
Yeah.
And the ice may be 15, 20 miles deep. Ice on top of water, and at the bottom of the water, of course, may be the same tidal effects on on the rocks of this moon that may cause the same vents around which all sorts of animals are found here on Earth with no sunlight, just salt water and the minerals coming up from the deep vents. So there are a number of people think that might house some life. Of course, they breathe water, and they don't come to the surface, and they don't text or send email.
That would be a little.
Do you? You've heard a lot of
different
things
form
talk
of
about
life.
like astronauts that see these things when they're traveling, and I don't know whether to believe it or not. And there was a guy who came out recently. I don't remember his name. His name was you'll know him, Ed. He was an astronaut. Ed Mitchell.
Yeah.
And he said, Dr. Ed Mitchell, and he's saying that he saw extraterrestrial craft, or he said he saw something, and it's really hard to discount an astronaut. I mean, you can write off certain people.
Oh, I don't find that any trouble at all.
Oh, it's easy for you. You don't have trouble discounting that?
He's a great one for psychic communication. So he was going to do an experiment when he went to the moon, and it was to look and concentrate on certain playing cards or numbers, whatever it was. And somebody back on Earth was to get the message.
Huh.
It was so wrong that they started thinking there must be a correlation with it being so wrong.
Because it's so wrong. There has to be something.
It must be some creature is reversing.
This Mars missions, though, people always look back at the Kennedy speech about the moon. And it's one of the great points of this country and what we achieved over that amount of time. And it was time, and a lot of work went into that, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
Where is that passion these days with the American people, to the pride to see something like that happen again?
I don't know, but I think, people wrote the history, a very classic history of that time period.
Sure.
And the timeliness of that commitment. And he drew a conclusion saying that the elements that were coming together at that time just could never repeat themselves.
Right.
And he didn't think there'd be any way. But if we submit things to the president like we did, and it's called a flexible path, which means you're ready to do a lot of things, but no destination and no time period, why then somebody in the administration, whether they were looking at my submission or not, which had tests of the interplanetary spacecraft, initial ones were a 1 year, you fly by a comet. Well, so what? It's a test of the spacecraft. But as you fly by the comet, you crash the upper stage into the comet. So everybody back here on Earth with their binoculars looking at the tail of the comet sees it go boom.
Right.
And you take pictures of it as you go on by. That's the kind of public interest in what we're doing. And this married couple flying by Mars will increase tremendously. I have to convince people that are sure that we should go back to the moon this time to stay. It's a wonderful statement. But what it costs us to do that, we can lead bringing the nations together and deciding where the base is going to be, then build the base with a key element, an early control center hab module for the interplanetary craft, testing the temperatures that are very hot, very cold, and the radiation that's on the moon.
I think it's a problem in that finance is looked at so much, the cost of all these things. But the technology and innovation for the people that comes out of the space program and these very grand ideas always pays off. It always winds up being better for people here on Earth.
Well, unexpected things come along,
Yeah.
and we learn, as I pioneered, that training for spacewalking is best done underwater in a spacesuit with neutral buoyancy.
Was that your idea?
No, not my idea, but I welcomed it because I've been a scuba diver for almost 10 years.
Oh, you were?
Before then.
Now, why a married couple too? Is that because literally, do they have any experience with sex or the possible procreation in space? Is that something to do with it, or just so people could? Why a married couple?
I'm not sure that there's enough room in that space. Well, there's a very likely candidate of two people that I know quite well because we brought them into our diving group called the Sea Space Symposium. It's a couple that were 2 years in Biosphere 2, and they couldn't stand each other, so they got married. But they head up a company now that is building the long-term life support systems for the government Orion spacecraft, which I don't know whether it'll ever replace the shuttle. Now, back in 2009, we were looking at this gap if we don't fill it between our replacement for the shuttle and when the commercial guys will be able to take things to the space station. We're going to have a gap, and we've had one from the government. We flew twice past the 2010 deadline. But what I proposed in 2009 was, with 2010 coming up pretty soon, I said, no, let's fly the shuttle once a year. And we can get enough things done. Now, in between, 30 months before and after for that particular orbiter, then you got 6 months in between to be working on the next program, whatever it is. They didn't buy that, but look at who predicted we were going to have a problem and had a ready-made solution.
Yeah, and now we're at the mercy of the Russians, I gather.
Well, we're financing their space program.
Exactly.
I want to plug the book.
It's
today.
amazing.
I'm sorry. It's called. It is called. I'm going to get it absolutely right. It's called Mission to Mars: My Vision for Space Exploration. This book explains. And you got some great people on the back. It's always hard to get people on the back to promote this, but colonizing space is essential for the long-term survival of the human race. And this book shows us how Stephen Hawking. So you have some really legit people on the back.
He said we got 200 years to establish an off-planet habitation for the survival of people here in case of an asteroid impact, nuclear war, pestilence. There must be some other real tragedies.
Yeah, there's some other bad stuff.
It is a great way to kind of not have all your eggs in one basket, And if we do have the technology and the minds behind it, I don't see why we wouldn't do.
Well, I mean, just think, the human race originated on Earth, either in the Garden of Eden or crawling down from the trees, and we've been here for how long? And now we will be a two-planet system with growing again with the challenge of trying to make that place terraforming, they call it. It's pretty long-term and rather impressive things you got to do to sort of reverse nature a little bit.
Sort of a shake and bake planet.
Yeah, but Al Gore thinks we've been reversing nature.
Right, yeah. Here on Earth.
What would you use for energy when you're there? Where would the main source of energy come from?
Well, I don't know whether we can find plutonium or uranium there. Nuclear, solar dynamic, where you take and focus the sun's rays on a focal point and then circulate a fluid through there and compare that temperature with the temperature on the back that's not seeing the sun, that radiates outward to the blackness of space. Temperature difference is a way of generating electricity. You put electricity into an air conditioner and you circulate a fluid around and you get cold. You take away heat. Well, you can. I'm exceeding my knowledge of hydrodynamics and thermodynamics, but there's no doubt that works. They compare the surface water with the cold water in Hawaii and generate electricity. The surface temperature and geotech is the temperature down where it gets quite hot, whether it's lava or not.
And
that's stored energy for that can be used.
Yeah, but it's, I believe, more efficient than photovoltaic, which is what China is beating the pants out of us and making it.
That's supposedly not very efficient.
No, it's really hard, and it takes large amounts of area and construction in outer space to be able to beam that energy back to Earth.
Yeah.
What kind of psychological testing, too? Like, there's got to be some intense stuff these guys have to go through for that type of...
Yeah, they were telling me that we got to rush out of here when I'm through to get to CNN, so let's not dilly-dally along if we're doing...
You got CNN to do, huh?
Yeah, well,
busy guy.
Because I was reading, I'm reading something about. I mean, I hate to dilly-dally, but I'm reading something about how the psychological testing for the astronauts for this type of long-term travel is very, very tricky, because you don't know how somebody's going to respond after being away from the Earth for, say, a month or 2 months or a year.
Well, they've got tests in Europe of a number of people, candidates for astronauts that have been up there for 500 days. It's called Project 500. And we put these people in the biosphere. I think a part of it is to make sure that you put a big time lag in any communication with who's running the show. But what the hell, we get used to that now with our iPhones. We text somebody, we don't get an answer right away. It comes a little later.
Yeah. Sometimes we send a questionable photo. Now, do you think that we're better off with space travel with the government handling it, or is privatizing it, do you think, a better way to go? Because things tend to get done a little bit faster.
Yeah, well, they certainly do, and they're historical examples. But I think in general, you can compete at the design level, where you can't always do that with the government. You take what you buy, you compete at the design level, and then you make a selection, and then you cooperate with other people at the operational level. That you can do a little better with the private sector. And
that's a good compromise.
And you make an investment and you get a return. The government doesn't get any return at all, so the motivation isn't quite there, especially if it's a cost plus contract. That means you bid on it, whatever it costs you to make it, you get reimbursed plus. See, if you run way over, you get reimbursed for all that.
How important was the Cold War and the motivation for the lunar program, as opposed to us needing some kind of motivation for this?
God, you're asking all the good questions, and we're not recording it.
I know, right? Well, check 1, 2.
Yeah, I told you to ask that.
All right. Let me not answer that, but use that as a springboard.
Okay.
I believe that the English-speaking nations did a lot to save the world from tyranny in World War I, and certainly World War II.
Sure.
The Cold War, English-speaking nations stood up against the expansion of communism in many different places. If anybody stems the spread of radicalism, it's going to be the English-speaking nations.
Certainly.
Okay, now, Russia and China, they get along pretty well. They got different language, they got different symbols, and they get together to do what? To thwart the U.S. in what it's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So why shouldn't the English-speaking nations be a little bit more cohesive?
Right.
The technical language a while back used to be German.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. It's English. The diplomatic language certainly used to be French. Not anymore. It's English. We can get together, most of them, but the really crucial is India in Asia. And I think if we can cultivate the cooperation with Japan and India and the U.S. involved in that, Japan wants to really sort of concentrate on lunar landers and ascent vehicles. Well, the Indians could use that kind of help. We could, because we don't want to build those things again. But we got a few things to land. And when we get all that ice from the craters, we got to get it up into where the sun shines all the time at a refueling depot.
Right.
And a global consortia of commercial companies can finance that cooperation so the Japanese launch the ice to a fuel depot on the near side of the
And is that to get the hydrogen out of the water for fuel?
Yeah. You separate the water into hydrogen.
A fuel cell, right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great idea.
we have to wrap up.
Oh,
Yeah, he's gotta
Buzz
go
is
to
very
CNN.
busy.
But let's promote the book properly.
Yes.
It is. It's called Mission to Mars. It's Buzz Aldrin, My Vision for Space Exploration, and it's just a brilliant look at how we're going to get to Mars.
Buzz, great to see you here. You're one
Thank you
of
so
my
much.
heroes growing up, and it's fantastic. I hope we really see some of the visions that you put in this book. Absolutely. Thanks so much.
They're evolving as we speak.
Yeah.
I add other things. I've got a nonprofit that's promoting my ideas.
You're always
Another
working.
nonprofit that's promoting the exposure to the American people of space policy over the years.
Yeah.
And from that, we should learn how to avoid short-term political
Right.
decisions.
Well, I think people like you that have done such amazing things for the program are very important for people to see and talk to you and read what you've written. And I think it keeps the space program keeps it alive.
Yeah, we got to
Thanks
get him
so
out of
much,
here.
Thank you, Buzz,
Buzz
very
Aldrin.
much.
The Opie and Anthony Podcast.
Must-hear moments from the past week.
And whatever else we feel like throwing in.
Still to come, Jim Norton as grocery man. But first, comedian Tom Papa to talk about America's newest hero, Cleveland's Charles Ramsey.
They got the Charles Ramsey on the Anderson Cooper last night on CNN.
Yeah, he did Anderson Cooper's show.
We're checking out all the interviews and bringing the best clips to you. Here's Charles telling Anderson what happened.
So yesterday, what happened?
Yeah, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna tell it all. Around 3 o'clock, I was on my porch, and the mailman put his mail in my mail. So I looked at it and was like, I gotta get Ariel his mail when he come home. A couple minutes later, he pulled up. He checked the mailbox, grabbed his mail. Before he went in the house, I said, Ariel, here go your mail. And we just had the same conversation when I handed him the mail. He said, they can't get it right. I said, nope, damn postal service. That's it. He left. I jumped on my bike, went to McDonald's.
He mentions McDonald's again.
Oh, I know.
He's not a dumb guy.
He's not dumb.
He knows someone's paying attention.
I went to McDonald's.
Jesus. Imagine him, the greatest would be if the fucking girls come out and they go, and all we ate for 10 years was McDonald's.
Oh,
And McDonald's gets a black eye.
Those murderers loved McDonald's.
Yeah.
Those fucking kidnapping.
They would always eat McDonald's after sex. Just give them a complete black eye to McDonald's.
I'll have
Down.
McDonald's.
Came back home. I'm in my house.
Enjoying
But I'm
McDonald's.
in the living room, and I'm right by the front door, because I'm looking out the front door.
Oh, he's too much detail,
And,
guy.
Man, this girl screamed like a car had hit a kid, which made me, you stop eating. What the hell was that? That. So when I got up, I saw my neighbor across the street. He run across the street, and I'm like, I'm thinking, where are you going? Because ain't nobody next door because I just saw Ariel leave. And I know ain't nobody over there. Heard that girl scream and saw him run across the street. And I went outside and wondered what he was doing. And Amanda say, I'm stuck in here. Help get me out. So he either don't know English that well or panic. But he just looked at me and was like, he's a girl. And that's all he did. So here I come with my, half-eaten Big Mac. And I look, what's up? And she's like, I've been trapped in here. And he won't let me out. It's me and my baby. I say, well, you ain't got to talk no more. Come on. I'm trying to get the door open and can't.
I used some of the grease from the French fries to lubricate the lock. That's what I did.
And then I put a McNugget in the corner and Jimmy the door open.
Yeah.
What happened to the Big Mac?
I couldn't see it too well, so I stood on the Big Mac because it's so big that I could look inside.
She said, my baby's sick, so I gave her by the Big Mac, and the girl was healed.
He loves his Big Mac.
Oh, shit.
This guy talking about plug-ola.
Oh, man.
Torture chamber did some kind of way and locked it up, right? So I did what I had to do and kicked the bottom of it, the door, and she crawled out of it. She grabbed her baby, but threw me off. All right, so fine. I got some girl and her kid.
And what did she look like? I mean, what was she wearing?
Jumpsuit. She had a white tank top on.
Big Mac yellow.
Yeah. It looked like the same color the secret sauce is that goes on the 2 all-beef patty, secret sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
Her shoes look like pickles.
She looked like a McDonald's sign.
Oh, fuck, Chip.
Rings on, mascara. She was well groomed. She didn't look like she was kidnapped. That's what I'm saying. That's what threw me off when she was like, I'm in here trapped. I'm like, well, you don't look like kidnapped, so maybe you got a boyfriend problem.
Boy.
So I took the kid stat for a Happy Meal.
And you'd never seen her before?
Bro.
In the year that you'd been there?
Bro. That, man, listen, never. That woman didn't come out the house. The only kids that came out the house were 2 little girls. They played in the backyard. He had 2 dogs. Where I live, naturally, it's next door. My bedroom was upstairs, so when I can just hear kids playing, I know it's them. They do the same thing, play in the backyard for a couple hours, go back in the house. Same thing every day.
Who were those kids?
The neighborhood knows them as his grandchildren.
Oh.
So it's no big deal. He got his grandkids over all the time. I thought
kids.
Probably, maybe it's a kid or so. Maybe it's another kid plus one of the kidnapped daughters, girls, or maybe he just brought his grandkids over and it's unconnected.
Story's getting creepier and creepier.
Yeah.
This guy should. I hope this guy gets at least fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, I hope he gets at least Big Macs for life.
Big Mac for life.
I mean, the bad guy.
Yeah, Team Big Mac, motherfucker. That's right.
This next clip is great.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Amanda Berry then, asked to call 911?
Mm-hmm. And I took her to my house. Now, I'm nervous as hell, so I'm fumbling with my phone. So I finally get it right. She can't wait, and I don't blame her. So what I do is tell her, go across the street and use their phone. Now, we both calling 911. Now, she get through, and I get through. She deal with a moron. Me too.
The 911 operator is a moron.
By the way, on Fox, they just flashed that the 911 operator is being looked into. Because he really was. He got off the phone. He goes, all right, we'll send a car. All right, this cocksucker hung up the phone.
They obviously had
woman.
something.
And that was the woman's call.
Right, she's screaming bloody murder, so you got to keep her on the line.
And they don't stay on the phone. She said, we're kidnapped, and they hang up on her.
You don't know where that Ariel guy is.
Yeah.
He could be in, pursuit of her.
Right there, right.
Yeah,
chasing around a house or something.
Yeah, but they get off the phone. All right, we'll send a car, and he hangs up on this guy.
But those are the type of people that they put all the credence in the fucking Zimmerman case too. Well, the operator said to not follow and stand down. They don't know what they're fucking there to take the message for the cops. Hi, the police aren't here right now. Can I take a message? That's 911.
Moron. Me too.
You said there were, what do you mean a moron?
Idiot.
I heard the 911 call from her. The woman kept being like,
How many more fucking words do you need?
Douchebag.
Dope. Schmuck.
Dumbass.
What do you mean a moron?
Idiot.
I heard the 911 call for her.
Imbecile.
And the woman kept
I
being
don't
like,
have that damn job.
the woman was like, oh, hang up and wait for the police.
Really? How about stay on and I'll talk to me till they get there?
Right.
Yeah.
So you called 911.
Yep,
How
sure
quickly
did.
did police get there?
You know why they got there so fast? Because I said moron. Because I said, hey, Amanda Berry is right in front of me right now. He like, what she got on? And I told him, white tank top, blue sweatpants, nice.
What she
tennis
wearing
shoes,
now?
Nice, ponytail. What else? Oh, right. She panicking, idiot.
Good. He had a kidnap victim for 10 years, and this cock-sucking 911 operator gets off the phone with him.
She panicking, idiot.
God,
This
that
guy
annoys
is,
me.
he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He's street smart, this Charles Ramsey.
Yeah,
Larry King here with Charles Ramsey. What happened with the other half of your Big Mac? Did you go back to it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Larry always getting to the important parts of the fucking story.
Did you have a
Was it supersized? Comment.
No ponytail. What else? Oh, right. She panicking, idiot. Put yourself in her shoes. I just said it. Amanda Berry, that don't ring no damn bells. You being a cop and all.
But when you first saw her and she said the name Amanda Berry, did it?
It didn't know. Because I forgot. Bro, this is Cleveland. Since they haven't found that girl,
Right.
and I guess stopped looking for that girl, we figured that girl met her demise.
Right.
So Barry didn't register with me until I was on the phone like, wait a minute, I thought this girl was dead.
Oh, this girl was dead.
He's like a modern Sherlock Holmes.
He really is.
Yeah.
Sherlock Homies. That's what he is.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Homeboy.
What's your name? Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. That's right. I'm after the Hamburglar. The newest case I got. So I opened the door a little bit. She had to squeeze out. It was almost like getting Mega McCheese's head through that. Oh, God.
Yeah, that shit was like a Ronald McDonald House of Horrors.
What does it feel like to have been living next to this for a year?
See, that's why now I'm having trouble sleep.
Oh, no.
Only one night.
Up until yesterday, the only thing that kept me from losing sleep was the lack of money. See what I'm saying?
What's he getting fucking...
So now that that's going on, and I could have done this last year, not this hero stuff. Just do the right thing.
Do you feel like a hero?
No,
There's a lot of people
no,
around here saying you're a hero.
no, bro. I'm a Christian and American. And I'm just like you.
Well,
we bleed same blood, put our pants on the same way.
well,
It's
no.
just that
Yours are a lot lower.
Exactly. Yours are a lot lower, and his has a hole cut in the back. I'm just like you, except you're white and I'm black, you're rich and I'm poor, you suck dick and I don't. Other side from all those major differences.
put our pants on the same way. It's just that you gotta put that being a coward and I don't want to get nobody's business. You got to put that away for a minute.
Because you know how it
For a
is.
minute.
A lot of people
And
turn
you
the other way.
You got to have some cojones.
Keep walking down
bruh.
the street.
That's all it's about. It's about cojones on this planet.
Cojones.
You're telling me.
Yeah. You're telling me it is about cojones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
On this planet, on the bridge of my nose, in my mouth.
Fucking A. This guy's the story.
He's great.
Yeah.
Has like the FBI said anything about a reward or anything? Because there was there was a reward for finding her and stuff.
I tell you what you do, give it to them.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Because if folks been following this case since last night, and you've been following me since the last night, you know I got a job anyway. Just wouldn't pick it up. Paychecks. What that address say? That sad?
I don't have my glasses. I'm blind.
2203 Seymour. Where was them girls living? Right next door to this paycheck.
Is he drunk?
Oh, man.
So yeah, take that reward and give it to that little girl came out the house and she was crying. And I'm looking at her right now. I'm like, well, your mama trying to help you, girl. Shut up. I don't know, right?
Shut
and
up.
she say, I want my daddy. And I said, well, who's her daddy? She said, Ariel.
Oh.
Yeah, I said, well, how's that possible? Because you wouldn't, if you got kidnapped, oh, he was having sex with you? Oh, Jesus Christ. That little girl is just,
what the?
Now we want to hurt you.
You felt that?
Bro, this would be a different interview. I told you that. If we had known that, man, I'd be facing triple life.
Wow. I'm glad it turned out this way.
nice bow on it, Anderson.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's cool.
Triple life with my double patties.
I'm having
On
trouble
my
sleeping.
Big Mac.
If I only had a Big Mac bun, I could rest my head on.
Because they're so big and comfortable.
Yeah, he also was in studio at a Cleveland TV station. You want to try it? It wasn't as good as the Anderson Cooper, but we can give it a shot, see where it goes.
I have
more.
But the biggest, most mysterious question in this whole motherfucker. Whatever happened to the McDLT? That shit was good. There was the cold lettuce and tomato on one side and the hot patty on the other motherfucker. But they done discontinued that nigga. I don't know what the fuck.
And I checked under her shirt to see if she had any broken McRibs.
And that's the only thing he wants is to bring that back.
Of course.
That's all he asks. Bring that back.
I love the McDLT.
Bring back the McDLT. And we're square.
The cold side and the warm side. The lettuce never wilted because they didn't put the shit on the meat till you was ready to eat up the motherfucker.
This whole problem could have been avoided.
If they just didn't discontinue the motherfucking McDLT.
Yeah, I got some sesame seed buns, y'all.
Yeah, Cleveland TV program with the polished anchors in studio. And he had a nice brand new lid on. He brought his homies with him. Mm-hmm. And we'll give this a shot.
He's got his crew.
Yeah.
I opened the door, naturally, as you can see on the news, and it wouldn't, bro. He had a lock on there, and you couldn't open that. And the police had to, when they got there, they finally, got it ajar. And Amanda says, it's 2 more girls up there. And I looked at her, and I looked at the cop that was in the middle of the street, and he said, it's what? And she said, yeah, I'm not the only one. And they went up there, and about, 15, 20 seconds, they were coming out with Gina and that other girl, and I said, oh my God.
Charles, you've done so much, and we are all grateful for the fact that you were there then and that you were able to help them. As you go through this, a lot of people were wondering how the community didn't know. Were the windows boarded up? Had you not heard anything in that house?
All I would hear was salsa music. That's all he played, naturally.
Naturally. See, what a racist remark. But we all are racist. All we heard was salsa music. Naturally.
Because those people play that music.
Yeah, that's as common as seeing a newborn with pierced ears in this neighborhood, motherfucker.
But of course.
Naturally, that's funny.
Oh, shit.
We all have our shit.
Naturally. He pulled up in his car. Races? Oh, jumpity.
I couldn't see behind a fuzzy dice, as you know.
Of course, though.
Naturally. It was Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we didn't even think twice about a bunch of them living in the same house. Yeah. You can understand.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Anything in that house?
All I would hear was salsa music. That's all he played, naturally. One day, I was playing my music.
Rap music,
too loud. He came to my house and told me, turn my music down because I'm disturbing him. At this time, he was a bus driver. I understood that. He had to get up in the morning, go drive the bus. When that came about yesterday,
I got girls in the basement.
It had nothing to do with you getting some sleep. That's why I was bothering you. And why I had to turn my music down. How can I be disturbing you? What are you doing in there? You weren't reading the Bible.
Damn.
Not.
The one thing I don't know, how did they pick up Ariel?
Where was he? Did they just wait for him to come home and
I don't
fucking
know.
nab him?
They might have known where he was going, or maybe, they just...
Has that even came out? How did they pick him up and his 2 brothers?
I don't know.
Here it is.
There's McDLT.
The hot side and the cold side.
Why don't we know that part of this?
Maybe
we know every other detail.
I don't know. I'm sure it'll come out. It's probably just some.
What did they say? He was going to McDonald's or something? I think he was going to McDonald's as well.
Was he really?
I think so.
McDonald's is fucking wants a little less.
Holy shit, right? Yeah,
Everyone
a little
eats
less
McDonald's.
exposure here.
What was the other food option? McDonald's or the new goat shit palace that opened up? We have cold goat shit. We have hot goat shit. We have goat shit that's sliced and diced, and we have melted goat shit. You can eat it on. You can eat it on pita bread or panny bread. We don't know what it's called.
Or McDonald's.
Or you can eat it on the folded scrotum of a horse. Goat shit wrapped in folded horse scrotum. Or McDonald's.
I think I'll go with McDonald's.
They all get along at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Pervs, sex slaves, and heroes. They all,
yeah.
They all fuel their souls with McDonald's.
Yes, we've all been brought together.
Jesus.
What did they say to you?
He told me, he said, you got who? I said, I got 9.
Oh, yeah, he's talking about the 911 operator.
Oh, right.
I got a man of bear with me right now. Send the police. This dispatcher said, stop playing on this line. You don't got her. I said, well, send the police, moron, and arrest me if I'm lying. They didn't believe me. Now, since so many people have been calling him probably through the years and say we got her, I understand that you was just a little apprehensive about that call. She called too. Now you got 2 people calling you 911 at the same time. Somebody can't be lying.
How did Amanda look when you finally rescued her?
Fine.
She was trembling, happy that she saw someone else other than her.
She was shaking, and if you want a good shake.
But her main concern was that child. I didn't know what that baby was crying about.
Did she come out with the child?
Yes, and I was like, "Who's this kid?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, this is his daughter."
His daughter.
And I'm like, "Well, how?"
She had a grimace on her face.
You weren't pregnant then, and then they do the math. Say, "Oh, damn." Well,
it's okay. That's all right.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Thank God that's all right.
That's all right.
Oh, that's okay.
That's all right.
The Cleveland guy.
Oh, the stupid Cleveland
We understand.
guy. I think the Cleveland guy used to be in New York, too. He looked very familiar. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's why that guy was taking her to the park, though. It's his daughter, too.
To the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you fucking decipher that shit in your little brain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're taking daddy away.
Hit him with
Lord.
a bat. Just hit him with a bat. Hit the guy with a bat.
She's going to have a little bit of baggage there to deal with.
Yes.
A few daddy issues, perhaps.
Daddy was a
boy.
what?
Yeah.
I'm here. Why? Ugh.
Yeah. How did I come around?
Ugh.
That's when Anthony swoops in like a falcon. I smell daddy issues like a vulture smells a carcass. And I react much the same way. Pick their bones clean of meat.
Exactly. Until they're legal to vote, then you just drop them somewhere.
He talks about being a hero.
Let me ask you this. You touched on this earlier. Has it sunk in just how much attention you're getting? As Aaron was pointing out earlier, you're trending on Twitter. The world is talking about what you did. Your name is all over the place. It's hashtag Chuck Ramsey everywhere. Do you have any idea of the attention that you're getting around the world right now?
I don't even want it, nor looking for it, bro. That's why when they keep saying I'm a hero, let me tell you something. I'm American, and I'm a human being.
A hero ain't nothing but a sandwich, as is the Big Mac.
There was a woman in distress. So why turn your back on that?
Or that dress.
My father would have whooped the hell out of me if he had found out that I was cowered out. See, you tough in these bars, but you won't. You beat a woman, but you won't help one out. And you're a man, huh? No, I'm the definition of a man, bro.
Were you ever concerned that Ariel would come back? Were you concerned about his
Yes,
safety?
only because I was doing something that I had no business doing, which was prying his door open on his property. So he had every right to, get in some type of altercation with me because I'm on private property. Even though I'm doing a good deed, he's still on my property. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about him, but at the time, and I got, I wish you'd bring my squad with me. I got an entourage.
He's got an entourage.
We weren't worried about it anyway. That's why I told the police. If we had known about this, we would have never got that call. It'd just been some corners coming, putting a white sheet over somebody, and we'd have went on with our life. Because we'd have handled that, bro.
You would have handled the situation.
He's talking about that. Yeah, I'm a hero. I'm all nice and shit, but This could have gone the other way, motherfucker.
Kung Fu fighting.
Yeah.
They found Ariel at McDonald's. They got him at
really
McDonald's.
did?
Yes.
They honestly did?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
No fucking way.
Yes. That's coming in.
Jesus.
They got him at McDonald's.
Man.
That area loves their McDonald's. Holy fuck.
Well, again, the goat shit palace is the only other place.
the only other option.
It really gets a bum rap, the Goat Chip Palace.
Yes, it does.
And now Charles Ramsey wants to get his hands on the person that did this. Ariel, I believe.
As you said, you have an entourage, and your manager over there is saying you have to leave. But let me ask you
Your manager?
one last question before you go. You talked about you're not a hero. You were doing what you had to do.
No, bro.
Knowing what you did, knowing the attention that you're getting, knowing how grateful people are that because of you, these ladies are now free. How do you feel today?
Oh, I'm all right. I want to get my hands on him, and then I'll be all right. Put me in the Fed over there with him, and I'll be all right. Other than that, I mean, it is what it is, bro. God's smiling on somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Hey, Chuck. Thanks, man.
Oh, yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Really appreciate it.
thanks
Good
for
luck to you.
listening.
You too, bro.
He gave him that personal touch.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
Good luck, Chuck.
Chuck.
I feel like I won that McDonald's Monopoly game they do every so often. I feel like I won like the grand prize of the motherfucker.
How are you feeling that you've rescued these people? I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Just blurting out the catchphrase. Yes.
Yeah.
Slug line.
I don't know what I'm going to do next, but man, I'm hungry.
I'm a little hungry. Where should I go? He fucking is just. He's just a very street smart motherfucker. This guy,
And it seems like it's all he wants.
Yeah,
all he
that's
wants is just a bunch of coupons.
Yeah, coupons.
The Opie and Anthony Podcast. The Opie and Anthony Podcast continues.
Now, comedian Jim Norton is Grocery Man. Check this out.
I wish I looked like a superhero.
Oh, you do, Jimmy. You've lost so much weight. You look so good.
You want to be a superhero. What kind of superhero, though?
I don't know.
A lot to choose from.
I would just go around helping people.
Yeah.
Yes. Grocery man.
Grocery
Like if you have too many groceries, I would zip it and carry them up for you.
Grocery man?
He's very helpful. Like there's a woman walking and she doesn't realize that her lettuce is falling out. And her lettuce falls out of the bag. And all of a sudden you and I fly in and I catch her lettuce and I place it back in her bag and I say, "There you are, ma'am."
And what does she say?
"Oh, thank you, grocery man."
Of course she does.
I zip away.
Thank you, grocery man.
I fly away.
It's a blurb on page 26 of the paper.
Grocery man. But meanwhile, I'm flying over and around rapes and child kidnappings, and I'm ignoring them to help someone. Like I'll zip into like the Whole Foods, and just as the guy is about to put the heavy milk on top of the eggs, I grab the milk out of his hand. And I say, "Son, look at the bottom of that bag."
Oh.
And he'll say, "Oh, grocery man, thank you. I forgot there were eggs in there."
Wow.
"Don't put that on the eggs," I'll say. And all of a sudden I go, and I've got a plastic bag out, and I put his milk in it. And I fly away.
Do you bag groceries for old people real quick?
Yes, I do, if they have to do it themselves.
Yeah.
All of a
Just
sudden,
like...
the old lady is paying. "Oh, my arthritis is bothering me."
Yeah.
And she's looking at all her groceries pile up off the little conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And then she pays, then you're... And all of a sudden I'm there, and I give her the salute, and all her bags are in the cart.
Wow.
And I say, "Have a safe trip home, ma'am."
"Oh, thank you, grocery man."
I fly out.
Yeah, and you fly out, and there's somebody getting fucking robbed in the parking lot.
Yes, there is.
Pistol whipped.
Yes, a gentleman of color is taking the butt of his gun and caving it into the nose of another old woman. But since she has no groceries, I allow that. I allow that to happen.
Grocery man is the worst.
You have a code.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
I'm
about
only
the
here to help with
groceries.
groceries.
Yeah.
That would do well at the box office?
Oh, yeah.
That is priorities.
There's the one scene where the woman is walking with her groceries, and in slow motion you see the handle break.
Oh, shit,
and
that'll
the
happen,
groceries
yeah.
begin tumbling.
Oh, man.
And meanwhile, I'm somewhere, and you see me look up. And then
You can sense that.
I sense the groceries are falling. And then I jump out the window, and I change into my outfit as I'm falling. and I fly down with a fresh bag, and I catch all of her groceries.
Wow.
Before they hit the ground.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, and I just put them in her bag. And I go, here you are, ma'am. And I take the other bag. No littering. And I fly away.
Man. That's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
Is there a scene in the movie where something happens to you and you're not available and somebody's groceries maybe fall out of the back of their truck while they're loading it up? And it's like...
Then everybody stops and looks.
And they're like, where's Grocery Man?
Yes. You see milk. It's in the slow motion. The milk hits the sidewalk and the milk splatters in slow motion.
Oh, boy.
And everyone stops, like traffic stops, and they all just look at the milk. And they know Grocery Man is injured.
Mama, we're Grocery Man.
Grocery Man, pick up grocery. And I'm wearing my my Grocery Man outfit is like a green cape. But it's the consistency of lettuce.
This is terrible.
No, it's not.
Do you have a symbol?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Is there like a grocery symbol when there's trouble?
Yes, there is. Like, it'll just be a tipped over bag with items falling out.
Oh, wow. Is that on your chest?
No, on my chest is a paper bag with two healthy handles and a smile on the front, which signifies happy groceries inside. Grocery Man will come.
I fucking hate Grocery Man.
Why?
Now.
He's helpful.
He's not helpful.
Yes, he is.
He's so not helpful.
Yes, he is. He flies in a lot of times. Like somebody will be going to take an item off the shelf that's past the expiration date.
Oh, wow.
And as they go to put it in their cart, all of a sudden, whoosh, it flies by and it's out of their hand.
What if there are a bunch of bad grocery things happening at one time?
He just fucking is that quick.
Wow.
I go everywhere.
Take care of everything.
He's just fucking that
And
quick.
they go to put something into the car past the expiration, and I snatches it out of their hand.
Wow.
And they
Do you chastise people for leaving their carts like across the aisle when you're trying to fucking get through?
Yeah.
And they're looking for some stupid shit, but they block the whole fucking aisle?
So there's I'm telling you the climax. There's a scene where there's a guy pushing carts, and he's got like 50 carts, but there's a car coming down there, and he doesn't see the cart guy.
Oh, shit.
And Grocery Man flies in and lands right in front of the car and puts his hand up in the stop motion.
Oh.
And the car stops, and then he waves the carriage guy across the street.
Oh, my God.
What an insignificant hero.
Yeah, it doesn't even
this
sound like
guy
you have a
is.
nemesis. You're just helping people.
His nemesis is probably Iraq, wants to eat all the groceries.
No, my nemesis is expiration dates.
Oh, wow.
and poorly packed grocery bags. That's my nemesis. There are many nemeses of mine, and I must stop them all in all lands.
I don't think this would gross as much as Iron Man 3.
Yes, it would.
Yeah?
I'm putting it head to head. Grocery Man 1. Iron Man stinks.
Against Iron Man 3?
Yes, Grocery Man flies around and helps everyone with their groceries.
Who are you thinking to play Grocery Man for the big movie?
Moi.
You?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I am Grocery Man.
That's amazing.
Especially with my new physique.
Yeah, I'd go.
Is there a love
I'd say
interest to get the female audience?
Oh, yeah, there should be a love interest.
There's gotta be. Come on.
Yes.
She's the only one who knows your identity?
Grocery Man's got a really weird love interest.
Oh, no. I already know. Go ahead.
No. Her name is Betsy.
Oh, Betsy.
Yes, and she has cerebral palsy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
What?
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't know. I don't know.
Like
Betsy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I read out of improv.
No, I'll tell you why. Because
okay.
how he met her because of her cerebral palsy. She was always dropping groceries.
Oh, and that's something Grocery Man hates.
Yeah, so he began and he fell in love with her after he helped her. Like she dropped another can of peaches.
Why peaches?
Every day.
She likes peaches?
She loves peaches because they're just fun to hold with her fucked up hands.
Yeah.
And she dropped the can on the bone of her foot.
Ah.
And she was like, ah. And the Grocery Man flew in. Helped
Saved her.
Yes.
Helped her out.
Yes.
That's nice of Grocery
And then he
Man.
made love to her violently while she laid on her side.
Grocery Man has no ethics.
Her hand was propped up stiffly like a praying mantis hand.
Grocery Man It's not against his ethics to to use his grocery man status to get laid.
No, what he does is like when a woman he takes his lettuce cape and he covers their face with it and he violently makes love to them.
Violently.
Yes, Betsy with cerebral palsy.
Yeah, his gal.
Yes, she's
That's
52.
his Lois.
She's an older lady.
52?
52, yeah. It's gonna be a hit with all the kids.
This will not fucking gross $10.
You don't think this will be a hit?
No.
You know what happened? This is going to be such a big hit that the headline is going to read Grocery Man, GROSS dash.
Oh, yeah, for the gross.
Like the big box office gross.
What did the box office gross?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, not in this movie.
Yeah, see? Oh, boy.
How did Grocery Man first find out he had these powers?
When he was a boy, when he was just a baby, his mother was running around, futzing around, and something fell off the shelf.
Yeah.
She was making some baby food, and she screams, "Ah!" Because the baby food's falling, and his little fat baby hand
so
caught
upset.
it.
Oh.
Grocery Man caught it and held it up like, "Mama!"
And she looked all like,
"Oh my God, you were in the other room. What happened?"
yeah.
Grocery. That was his first.
His first word was
His
grocery.
little fat hand. Grocery.
This is the dumbest idea
That's not a
I've
hit.
ever heard.
It's a fucking hit.
No, it's not a hit.
Yes, it is.